welcome everyone on this Friday, October 13th. What is it? Jihad Day. I hope you're doing well for that. Just looking to see if we're live. Apparently we are, just nobody's watching. Perhaps, I don't know. But if you are, let me know you are here. Hit the thumbs up, hit the like button, whatever the hell you want to call it. And let me know you exist. I appreciate you for doing that. But we got a good show today. It is Friday. It's a Fact Check Friday. And I'm going to talk about something I've talked about before, but we're going to get into it a little bit more. Ladies and gentlemen, X, we can stop calling it Twitter, right? X, the land of tweets and trending hashtags, is trying to fact check and clean up its act with something they call community notes. And it might be like trying to put a Band-Aid on a bullet wound, but hey, they're giving it a shot. Now, NBC News, of all people, is throwing shade at X for this, which is a bit like the pot calling the kettle black. Come on, NBC. You've had your own share of alternative facts. But X's community notes are like your neighborhood watch. Except instead of keeping an eye out for the burglars, they're watching out for BS. They got volunteers suggesting and voting on notes, trying to keep up with misinformation, trying to keep up with it all, right? It's like Snopes if they weren't totally biased of the social media world. But here's the thing. The fact-checking process at X can be about as fast as waiting for your uncle to finish a story about how he met a celebrity in an elevator or whatever. By the time you get the community note, you've already scrolled past 100 more conspiracy theories. Hey, thanks for debunking that, but now they're saying Bigfoot controls the Fed. Many people, not captured by the corporate press, actually believe in this community note system. They say it's faster and better than traditional fact-checking, and I tend to agree. Now, X claims these notes appear within minutes of content being posted. Well, that's great if you're into live-action fact-checking. You can fact-check before you even finish typing your tweet. So, Elon Musk, kudos for trying to tame the online community with community notes. I know it's hard. It's like trying to herd cats, but we do appreciate the effort. And for the rest of us, let's remember to stay as close to the truth as possible, even if it means avoiding crazy theories like Bigfoot and the Federal Reserve, because we all know who really runs it. My name's Tom Coffee. This is the Coffee Nuance Show, the best censored commentary news show live right now. Flame on. Yeah, community notes. So I've been using community notes. In fact, a friend called me and he'd been approved for community notes as well. I've been rating things for a while now, and but I've never actually written one of the community notes myself, and I went to do it last night to try to figure out how the whole system worked. Turns out I can't do that yet. I think I need to give them money to be able to have that feature, even though I've been an approved member of the community, so I'm able to vote on these fact checks, whether they're good fact checks or bad fact checks, if other people should see them or not. But apparently I can't figure out how to do the note myself. Hopefully I will. I don't know. I'm not sure if I have to give them money every month to have that feature. I'm not sure. I'm just not the best power user on X. You know, I try using it. I do use it every day, but to me, it's not as intuitive as I'd like it to be. The user experience is, I think, for people that think a little bit differently. But their community notes, right, is it's a feature promoted by Elon, and the purpose is to combat false information. And boy, this past week, we've had a lot of it, right? And but because there are millions of tweets, I don't know, millions a minute, It's impossible to keep up with everything, especially all the volume with this Israel-Hamas thing going on. And it relies on volunteers to suggest notes and attach them to posts. But a lot of times, false information can just not have a note, right? And it hasn't been approved yet, and it takes time. And in Twitter, you know, people are doing it in real time, and often it's not corrected immediately, right? Especially during this fog of war. And my suggestion to everyone, during a war, if you see a claim that seems to be kind of outrageous, probably is. Doesn't mean that it's not true, just that you should be skeptical. So, it is funny, though, that NBC has been put out this story, and I'll link this story in the comments, about how terrible a system this is, that it's not fast enough, that it doesn't correct things fast enough. Oh, no. Well, I got a question for you, NBC News, right? When you put out something that's fake news, which you have done, I would say every week of this year and last year, and I don't know, at least for the last 6 years, I haven't been keeping track before then, NBC News puts out something that needs a little fact check on it, and there's no way to do that, right? I can't do that. A lot of times their stories come out, there's no comment section that you can put in, hey, this is not true, or hey, this is misrepresented. But yet this same entity is going to say what Twitter /X, it's not good because it's not fast enough. And it's funny because all the fact-checking organizations also pile on to this, saying that it is not as fast as it could be. Well, guess what? If Snopes does a story and it is false, and there are many stories that Snopes have done that are not true, there's no way to fact-check them, right? You can't fact-check Snopes on Snopes. They don't allow you to correct them. I have done fact-check videos on stories that Snopes has done. I have emailed them to tell them that they are wrong, and I've posted on Twitter, or X, that they're wrong. It's never been corrected. So while all of this is going on about how community notes is not a good thing, especially by NBC News, of all people, it's better than any other alternative, in my opinion. And if you are not using X, I suggest that you do, because it's really the only place that I know of to look at a media story and actually know if it's been fact-checked, and know if it's and kind of this crowdsourcing fact-checking is really the best alternative that we have right now. So I want to encourage you to check out that. Although it is really tough. It's really tough to do this. This story that NBC put out, I think originally they tweeted this story, right? And I believe that there were community notes added to it. And then I believe NBC deleted that tweet. Now, I really can't verify this. It's something that I remember, like I didn't take a screenshot of it when I saw it. And the thing is, now I can't find it. You know, because it's very hard to find things on X. You know, if it happened 2 days ago, good luck finding it. I scrolled through the entire feed. I couldn't find the story anymore. So that is one of the tricky conundrums that we have about using X and using it for fact-checking. But you know, we're trying different things to find out what works and what doesn't work. And all those that are critical of this, if you're going to criticize a system, how about a suggestion on what could be better? Because I'm not hearing a whole lot of things from NBC about how they can be fact-checked. So there you go. Anyway, that is the fact-checking thing that I wanted to talk about today. I have a couple other stories to get to. First up, it's everyone's favorite Cenk. And he's got an amazing new venture. And stick around for the after show because I'm going to be going through all of your comments, including some live comments now that I see that are giving me some information on community notes. So that's going to be good. But first up, here's the news. Cenk. So, well, you know, folks, you hear that Cenk Uygur is challenging Joe Biden in the primaries for 2024. Yeah, Cenk's convinced that Biden's chances are slim, but then again, Cenk really doesn't know anything about being slim. Ba-dum-bum. Yeah, coming in with a fat joke. Here's the story. Cenk Uygur, founder of the Young Turks, is launching a primary challenge against President Joe Biden in 2024. Claiming Biden has a low chance of winning. However, Uygur faces significant hurdles, including that he's ineligible as a naturalized citizen. He believes this issue will be resolved in the Supreme Court. Uygur also notes that Marianne Williamson's primary challenge, but says it hasn't gained much momentum. In 2024, Uygur ran for Congress and did not perform well. And when I say did not perform well, I mean he got smashed. He got killed. I'm trying to remember the exact percent, but I think he got 4% of the vote in the primary. So yeah, did not do too well. But you can fact check that and come back and Tom, he actually got 6%. Doesn't matter. He did very, very poorly when he ran for Senate. But anyway, I gotta agree with all of his points. His points are that it shouldn't be him challenging Joe Biden, but nobody else is doing it. And I kind of agree. I mean, there was RFK Jr. running as a Democrat, but the DNC just pretty much not only put their thumb, they put their fist on the scale and made it nearly impossible for him to even compete as a Democrat. I didn't hear Cenk talk about this when it was happening to RFK Jr., but and some cynical people may think that this is just a ploy for him to promote his new book. I mean, how would someone with a history of being a grifter, I mean, would do something like this to sell his book? That's ridiculous. That is an insane thing to suggest. I'm offended by it. But perhaps I'll review Cenk's book. I actually got his book, and by got it, I mean I was able to get a free copy of it. And I made it through one chapter, and it was, whew, man. Yeah, anyway, so Cenk Uygur, he was the founder. He's the main guy on the Young Turks, probably the biggest left-wing media outlet on YouTube. And he was also one of the co-founders of the Justice Democrats that brought us all the everybody's heroes in the squad, right? So now he's doing this to get some attention and try to get Joe Biden out of the race. I don't know. I'm interested in it. I mean, I'm not interested in him, but I'm interested in the process, and I do think that he is bringing up some points we can all agree with. Joe Biden's going to get his behind kicked, and he's polling so poorly, he has really no chance of winning the presidency, if it were, as always, a very legitimate vote, right? Right? As long as all of the votes are legitimate, which of course they will be, right? Anyway, yikes. But Cenk is bringing up some issues, and I think it's good. I think it's a good thing. I support him running against Joe Biden, and I think anyone that can bring attention to wanting to replace Joe Biden is a good thing. So I hand it to him. Next up, let's check this out. So I'm reading about Hamas using cryptocurrency for fundraising. I mean, they're terrorists, but they're also tech savvy. Talk about a killer app, but if they launch Hamas coin, I will not be investing. So here's the story. Hamas, terrorist organization. You may know them from this last weekend. Anyway, they've been using cryptocurrency for fundraising, with online donors contributing. The U.S. Department of Justice is investigating its use of cryptocurrency for alleged money laundering. Cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, Ether, XRP, and Tether are associated with Hamas. Iran has been a major supporter of Hamas, and there's a debate about its recent involvement. Efforts to disrupt Hamas's finances are challenging due to their adaptability to use cryptocurrency. Now, legal battles have delayed the allocation of seized assets to victims of the Hamas attacks. So here's the play, and I knew as soon as I saw this attack, I knew that this story would be coming. And what the story is these bad guys have used crypto, so therefore we probably need to do something to crack down on crypto, right? Bad guys use crypto to maybe launder money, so maybe the government should regulate it more. Maybe the government should look into cryptocurrency more. Maybe take away the ability to trade crypto because it's used for bad things. And like on the Chiron here, Hamas also uses water. I'm sure they're all well hydrated out there in the desert. So water is aiding Hamas, right? Drinking water is aiding Hamas. So maybe we ought to regulate drinking water because it could be used by bad guys, right? And they're wearing clothing. They're wearing clothing to cover up. So maybe we ought to look into regulating clothing because clothing is used by bad guys. You see how stupid this argument is? This is just dumb. If it turned out that Hamas was getting their stuff from gold coins, then they would say, oh, we need to really regulate people using gold coins. They're using this, and by they, I mean our government, is using this as an excuse to legislate and try to criminalize use of cryptocurrency. Do you know what the number one thing that is used in money laundering worldwide? The number one thing for money laundering? Answer, it's the United States dollar. Yeah. But I don't hear a whole lot of calls that we need to do away with the U.S. dollar because bad guys use the U.S. dollar. So I hope that I have pointed out the logic of this stupid argument, but they bring up this stupid argument every time, and they're using it as a way to try to control cryptocurrency. So I just wanted to bring that up to you today. But you know what? We need some good news. It is hard, especially this week. We need some good news. So here it is. So, folks, I read about this French artist, Helena Subayarand, who's ambidextrous, drawing with both hands at once, and I'm all for multitasking, but this is just showing off. But hey, I got to give her some credit. In a world full of righties and lefties, she's the ultimate bipartisan artist. Ba-dum-bum. Okay, here's the story. And here, let me show you what she does here. This is actually kind of cool. French artist. She's using her rare ambidextrous talent, drawing with both hands simultaneously. Her work, inspired by sacred art, has gone viral on social media. She's seen her ambidextrous art as a unique and cherished gift. Achieved through practice, her creations bring her happiness and independence. Now, it really doesn't hurt that she also happens to be an actress in France and is popular and is very pretty. That probably helps get you attention for doing this. Now, I see the little thing that she's doing. I don't know. It's a nice skill. It's kind of cool. Obviously, it's not really high art or anything like that, but it is kind of cool. I think it would be a fun thing to practice. That would be a good trick for a cocktail party. You know, if anybody still goes to cocktail parties. Does anyone still go to cocktail parties? I don't know. But that would be a good trick. But it brought a smile to my face. I guess it's kind of good news. Not really, but a little bit. It was really hard to find something positive this week, especially with everything that's happening in the world. But I will link the story in the comments as soon as I get done with the show. And you can check out her Instagram. She has lots of examples of this, and I like it. It brought a smile to my face, so I hope it does something for you. Anyway, that's all I have for you today. Stick around for the after show. I'll go through all your comments, have some other thoughts to share with you. I'll be back on Monday, and I hope that this is a very peaceful day, and we all stay safe. So, have a good afternoon. I'll see you Monday. Peace. What's up, all? Rumble Gang. I see you watching, but no one's commenting. Here we go. Oh, OX_00 did finally. Rumble alert arrived late. I'll we watch the rest of the show when it's done. Happy Friday. Well, cheers to you, OX. I do appreciate that. Yeah, I'm not sure. Perhaps I need to... I'm going to be doing some experimenting on this. Maybe I need to alert Rumble earlier in the day as to what time I'm going live. I do go live every day, noon on the West Coast. But but I only do it about an hour beforehand. And perhaps if it's less than an hour, maybe they don't do the send out the notifications on time. So I'll work on that. I'm going to experiment to try to figure that out. But thanks for letting me know on that. Happy Friday the 13th. Yeah. So Josh says here, and Josh is my friend. I was talking with him yesterday. Says that you have to earn 5 points through participation to gain the ability to write a note. I believe that I know that I have more than 5 points. I know that I've participated a lot. Points can be gained by voting on fact checks in ways that community notes find useful. I'm sure that I have the points. I think that I have to pay for the monthly membership, but I'm not sure. I'll look into that and I'll talk to you about that, Josh. So that's good. Where do I find TYT? Should I feel like punishing myself? I wouldn't punish yourself like that, but TYT is promoted by YouTube. They're heavily promoted by YouTube. So if you just put TYT into the search bar, they will come up immediately on the top of the search. That's for sure. Cenk likes to give full context. Yeah, that's funny. If they've never come across your recommended feed, I don't know that they're being as promoted in the last couple of years as they were, say, years ago. When I first got into YouTube and when I first started my channel, I couldn't go anywhere without seeing the Young Turks videos recommended to me. Like, it was pushed really hard in the algorithm. Now, perhaps, maybe in the last couple years, maybe they're not as useful as they used to be. And they're not being promoted as much, but I know that they do have millions and millions of subscribers. So you can find that. Anyway, yeah, supposedly today is the global day of jihad that it was announced. So I know that we should all probably take this seriously, not to be a downer or anything like that. I mean, I'm hoping that nothing bad happens today. I've seen already a few incidents that have happened across the spectrum. In various cities, some incidents have already happened, and I'll look into that later. But yeah, I'm not going downtown today. I will not be going out to big public events today, just based on the terror warning that they gave for today. And we don't get that much. So, yeah. So anyway, I just hope everyone stays safe today. And, you know, I guess one of the closing thoughts that I had about the community notes is I find it very helpful. I do think that it is better than any of the other alternatives. The issue is that it's hard to do a community note on something that doesn't have any of the traditional media backing it up, right? So if no one in the media, in you know, if the New York Times, if NBC News or something hasn't written a story about something, it's hard to then say, it's hard to give evidence that something's not true. And so in many ways, I would turn it back on traditional media. If you want things to be fact-checked well, you need to actually write stories about them, you know? And so often, when you look at the choice of what the corporate media writes about, they don't write about a lot of things. And that would be really helpful, is if they actually wrote stories, current stories, so that could actually be used in fact-checking. I don't know. I don't know if I made sense with that or not. But just as an example, there was a Bigfoot sighting over the weekend. And I actually downloaded the video. I wanted to play it, and apparently I downloaded it in the wrong format. So I can't play it on my little thing here. But if somebody posts, oh, look, this is Bigfoot, well, it's hard to really say, yeah, community notes. There's no evidence this is actually Bigfoot. You know what I mean? Right? Now, if someone had written a story about it and had written a story that says, oh, you know, there's a Bigfoot-themed RV park in the area, and perhaps they were using this as a promotional tool, right? And if someone wrote an article on that, then you could cite that article. But if no one's written any articles, then you're just kind of putting up your opinion. Makes it tough. Anyway, I know I'm not making good points today. But it's like that sometimes. Anyway, it's been a weird day. It's been a weird day for me. Anyway, that's all I have for you today. I hope you all have a beautiful weekend. Stay safe, and I'll see you on Monday. Peace.